What's going on YouTube? Examples here, coming out with a brand new video. Now I apologise for not actually uploading. I think yesterday was the scheduled day to upload. I was a little bit busy and I was watching Call of Duty XP, so I kind of forgot that I need to upload, so I'm apologising about that. But I do have a topic that I want to talk about in today's video, but I won't do so until we actually start playing. I am very, very close to getting the contract for good old Blackjack. All I need is 3 more kills with score streaks. So what I'm going to be doing today is playing another Fracture game, hoping that I can land some score streaks in this Fracture game and then go from there. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to load up a Fracture game. Once I'm in that game, I'll see you there. Okay guys, so we have now found ourselves a lobby and we are playing on Combine. I used to hate playing this map because it used to be the map that everyone wanted to vote for, but now that I've got all the DLC maps apart from the one that's going to be released after XP, everyone doesn't really want to play this map anymore. It's more Nuketown and all of the other new maps over Combine, which is quite good. I prefer that, and I'm quite glad that we're on Combine this time around. I have my trusty X Gamer as usual. If you guys haven't seen my X Gamer review video, I would recommend going to check it out, and I do explain why I have a G Fuel cup rather than an X Gamer cup in that particular video. And yes, I am going to be using the Vespa in today's video just because I feel like it will be more beneficial on this particular map, because this map is very, very close quarters combat, and obviously the Vespa is the type of gun to be able to kind of shred people at close quarters combat as long as you start landing your bullets, which I landed none in my first engagement, but the guy was dead before I even had a chance to okay, I just got a 3-piece, that was quite good, but before I even had a chance to land any bullets on the first engagement I got into, my teammate actually decided to kill the guy, which is fair enough and understandable, and then I turned around and the guy's right in my face. Did not expect that. So the topic that I want to talk about in today's video is actually whether coaches are viable in competitive Call of Duty, and I've seen a lot of pros voice their opinion quite recently on this subject, or former pros. I know Nadeshot came out and said he didn't see the point of having coaches in esports. He didn't see the beneficial factor of having coaches in esports. And in my personal opinion, if you use coaches right in Call of Duty, they can be very, 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 very viable. For example, pick and ban phase, you'll be able to use them in that particular aspect of the game. You'd be able to use them in other aspects as well. For example, strategies, you could be able to use them for scouting out opponents and what your opponents like to do. So there's a lot of different things that coaches can be viable for within competitive Call of Duty. However, they need to be used in the right way, because in the past we've had coaches such as Mr. X, Flame Sword for Optic, all those different types of people that have been coaches, but instead of having an impact on obviously like pick and bang, because it wasn't actually in the game at the time, they were having impacts on how their team played, hype factors on the team, all that kind of different stuff. And it wasn't really fair on the teams that didn't have coaches compared to the ones that did. So in my personal opinion, if they're gonna have coaches in this game, or not in this game, sorry, but in the next game, they need to make sure they use them properly. If they're gonna have pick and ban phases, they need them in pick and ban. They should say they're not allowed to stand behind the players during the game, because that's not really what a coach does in any of the other esports that have coaches. For example, League of Legends, in that particular esport, they have coaches, but instead of having them there for the whole game, they're literally just there for the pick and ban phase for champions, telling them what their strategy is going to be for that game, and that is it. They're gone after that particular point of time. They don't have any more influence in that game. All they do is they help with the pick and ban phase and the strategy that that team will have going forward in that particular series or that game. So I think if that type of coach is implemented within Call of Duty esports, then we should be able to use them fairly well and fairly consistently even in Call of Duty esports. And my teammate's picking that up, that's why I can't pick that up. But as I was saying, if we use them properly, I don't see why there shouldn't be Call of Duty coaches, because if you look at every other esport as well, they have backroom staff. They have people that go over nutrition, they have people that go over all sorts of different things for the team. So I honestly think that if they do things correctly with Call of Duty and have the right sort of background staff for Call of Duty, then there will be a place for coaches. I know some Some pros are going to disagree with that sentiment because they still don't think that coaches are viable within Call of Duty, and I understand their opinions. They've had bad encounters or bad experiences within like coaches within Call of Duty, and therefore they don't want them to return, and I completely understand that. I thoroughly do. But in my personal opinion, this esport would benefit from having backroom staff, would benefit from having coaches, just because it's something extra that the players won't have to worry about. They won't have to worry about scouting the players or the team that they're going to be coming up against in groups or anything along those lines. They won't have to worry about dealing with a lot of different things if there's backroom staff added into Call of Duty esports. And I know I'm comparing this to esports that have nothing to do with first-person shooters, such as League of Legends. Counter-Strike used to have coaches, not too sure if they're still in Counter-Strike or not. I know Dota have coaches. There's a lot of different esports, including Halo, that have coaches, but Halo's coaches are a little bit different to what they would be in Call of Duty for my personal preference. Just because in Halo, obviously, they're stood behind the team for the whole period of time, and they're not really influencing much else apart from the hype factor and the focus of the teams during that particular game. Whereas if there's not really a way that they could change that in Halo, though, because there isn't a pick and ban phase. There isn't a way of people just choosing different things to be able to use. So in Halo it's a little bit different, but if you've got a pick and ban phase, if you've got that kind of aspect within your game, I honestly think that you should use them in the correct manner. You shouldn't have them behind the players the whole way through. It's basically a fifth person on the map if you had them like it was when Mr. X was coaching. It's just a little bit unfair to have that extra person stood behind the players and saying, right, this person's there, this person's there. You haven't called this guy out. You haven't done this. Like, we need someone here. Oh my god, I didn't think I was going to get that. But in that regard, I don't think coaches should be allowed, just because, as I said, a little bit unfair on the teams that don't have coaches. But if they use coaches in the way that I've explained, and if they start adding in more backroom staff as well, I honestly think that it would help Call of Duty esports a lot more than people think, just because it's just an added thing, as I said earlier, that players don't have to worry about. They don't have to worry about thinking about what they should pick and ban and all that kind of different stuff. But let me know what you guys think about coaches in the comment section down below, guys. Do you think they would benefit or help in Call of Duty esports, and if so, why? And if not, why not? Just let me know in the comment section down below, guys. I'll try and answer as many queries and questions that you guys have and reply to as many comments as possible as well. But that's just my thoughts and opinions on coaches within Call of Duty esports. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.